are also very important. Yeah? Normally we use timelines when we're not having sending money, not on regular basis. What I'm saying to you is that now timelines are very important. If you're going to now go to the bank, make an investment in the bank. This month you put in 200, next month you put in 500. On the other months, after 5 months, you go to withdraw 700, then so on and so on. Timelines will be very important so they can be able to assist you. They will also assist you if now the interest rate changes. If your interest rate is going to change, then you need timelines to be able to that you can be able to simplify and see the progress of the investment, or how much money you left, or how much money are you going to make in a couple of years. So it's very, very important. So we'll just try to take one of the problems and make it an example so that you can be able to understand. For example, if I'm going to have somebody, let me just say you, eh? You go to the bank. It's you at the bank. When you get to the bank, you tell them now, I'm going to put in 500. And that's 500 after interest rate. The interest rate maybe was 12% per annum compounded. Monthly. Then if the interest remains the same, then after 2 years, I add an additional of maybe 400 into the account. And lastly, now after 6 years, the interest is still the same. I will withdraw 550. Then the question will say, how much will I have at the bank after 10 years? Now this is your timeline. This is now number of years. Remember, you started with how much? 500. So this is the amount that you put in. Again? You can just say T0. Also banking. Again. Then after 2 years, then you put in an amount of 400. Then after 6 years, you are going to put an amount of 550. You are withdrawing the amount. I will try to write it in red. The red will mean that you are actually withdrawing. Yeah? Why blue? How do you know blue is working? Alright, 550. The different color means you're withdrawing the amount. Ne? So in true sense, what you can also do, because you'll be using the same color, you can take the withdrawals and put them below or more. Then it's after 10 years. This is 10 years. Let's see how. It's 10 years. Now, I want you to take a look at the interest rate. Remember, this amount will be in the account. This amount will be in the account for the next 10 years. Okay? It will be moving from here until there at the same interest rate. So the amount will be moving from here until here. So the number of years for this one will be 10 years. Again, the interest rate is the same. It will actually be, what's the interest rate? 12% per annum. Don't forget to say compounded monthly so that you can know. So all of them will have the same interest. And this one now will now move. The number of years will just be 8 years. Is it okay? Everybody must get to the end. Then we have this one. It will be for 4 years. Again, is 4 years. Again, the reason why we are going to remove this is because now we are going to remove with the interest it might have gained if it didn't leave the account. Hence, we're going to, you will see that we are going to subtract all of it. So if you have a timeline, it will be easier for you to be able to do your problems and get them right. Né? So we want to know the amount. Yeah, so we're actually looking for A. Né? So I'm going to take them one at a time. I'm going to start with the one here, 500. I'm using this formula. 1 is equal to P, 1 plus I. Remember, they see they're compounded monthly. So now I know what this is compounded monthly. So I'm going to use a compound interest. The investment. I'm investing at the bank. So this is N. I will start with the first one and say, okay, I have 500. So my A will be 500. Let me just remove the rest for now before you think it's a variable. Né? I have 500, 1 plus the interest rate. The interest rate is actually 12%. So it's going to be 12 divided by 100 will give me how much? 0.12. So I'm going to have 0.12. Now, remember, it's compounded monthly. It's here. So how many months do I have in 1 year? 12. I have 12. Fine. Now, because this is compounded monthly, even my number of terms must just also be months. Okay? So how many years is to move from here to here? It's actually 10 years. Okay? So I'm going to put that 10 years. Yes, that's my 10 years. I'm putting it 10 years. Let me just write this in blue so you can also see it. It's divided by 12. So it's 10 years. Okay? But because now it's compounded monthly, I'm going to multiply it by 12. So, when we're doing effective interest and nominal interest, when we divide here by 12, we raise this to the power of 12. Again, now this is compounded monthly. Again, so you want this to be also in months. That's why you're saying in 10 years, how many months do I have? It's 12 months. That's why I'm multiplying by 10. That's why I'm going 10 times 12. It's going to give me 120 months. Again, if this is compounded monthly, this must also be in years. Rasha, they must be the same every time. I'm still adding the amount. That's why I'm putting plus. I'm adding the amount into the account. Né? So I have now a 400 which is added into the account. I have 1 plus. I still have the same interest. The good thing is I still have the same interest. So I have 0.12 and divided by 12 because it's compounded monthly. Then I close the bracket. Then now, how many years is this going to be the count? It's going to be for 8 years. Again, we'll just put 2 years after the first deposit. So it's 8 years. 8 years we multiply by 12. And then the last one, the withdrawal, I'm withdrawing 550. So I'm going to say, when I'm withdrawing, you are taking away. Withdrawal means you are taking away. I'm putting a minus. Left. Still use the same interest. 0.12. Then over 12. Then close the bracket. Then I'm going to have number of years is going to be 4. Then multiplied by 12. And you can put everything in the calculator and see how much you get. If it doesn't fit, please don't round off. You round off at the end. This will be the amount that you're going to have after 10 years. This will be the amount you're going to have after 10 years. What is the amount?